And we back. Welcome,
And let's get ready to rumble.
welcome back to the Goated Mafia Report. I'm Dman, always with me, the co-host, man of the hour,
Yeah, man. Greatest of all time. You already know. The God.
and
That's what we go by now. What's up?
which one's up? We got a special guest here. It is Jets week for the Bills, and we have our good friend, Mr. Jay. Introduce yourself, Jay.
I mean, I'm honored to be back on the show. Last time it was really fun. Uh, so let's have a good time.
Yeah,
Let's hopefully I can see my team win after.
win. He's talking about maybe he can see his team win. Did y'all just lose to Mac Jones?
Huh?
Didn't y'all just lose to Mac Jones?
We just lost to Mac Jones. Yes.
And Buffalo played a half a game and beat the Packers on Sunday Night Football.
I mean, things happen. Things can happen.
Things can happen. Before we get deeper into the show, the world was shocked yesterday morning with the news of the tragic and sudden passing of hip hop artist, rapper, Takeoff of the group Migos. We just want to send our love to the Migos, Quavo, and Offset, as well as Takeoff's entire family. This was completely unexpected. 28 years old is way too young to pass away, and we just want to send our thoughts and prayers to the whole family. But getting into it, I mean, there's not a lot to recap for the Buffalo Bills this past week against the Packers. Very sloppy game, but a game that never felt out of control. Josh Allen had two uncharacteristic interceptions. There was a lot of jawing back and forth. Jair Alexander wanted to talk. Stephon Diggs talked back. It was a very chippy game. Buffalo never looked back after taking the early lead. But it was a very interesting game for one reason, and the Packers just kind of accepted the loss to me, and they just ran the ball. You have a back-to-back MVP, a three-time MVP, a Super Bowl MVP, and Super Bowl champion quarterback, and I don't think he registered 20 pass attempts. Or if he did, it was very, very close to not being that many. Vince,
Nah, he had
why
like
do you...
25.
Are you at 25? Really?
Yeah, they all came late though. So like by towards the end of the third quarter, I think he was at like 15 or something like that. So yeah, they were
But
real subtle when they did. It didn't feel like he threw the ball like 20 plus times.
no. But like Vince, what was your takeaway from the game about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers just not trying to throw the ball? Is it due to the fact that Rodgers was going to get pressured no matter what, or was it the fact that his receivers are a very limited group and he knew if he had to wait for them to get open, he was either going to get sacked or it was going to be an interception, so they just decided to run the ball?
I mean, would you really want to like really like try to really throw against our defense? I understand. I mean, hey, he was limited. I guess. I mean, he was limited at wide receiver. So, but I mean, to not even really give yourself that many opportunities to even attempt to pass the ball. But when you think about it, and I mean, I guess it worked in a way for them because I mean they were running the ball pretty well. I mean, we gave up over 200 rushing yards, so
Yeah, I
that was
mean
really the only way that they were able to move the ball.
their run game looked very strong on Sunday. But my biggest surprise was when Poyer was ruled out for the rest of the game, they didn't try to pass it more because you saw on that long touchdown to I think it was, I forget who scored it, but the Packers got like a 30-yard touchdown over top because Jordan Poyer's not in the game. I'm surprised they didn't try to attack like over top and try to target Jaquan Johnson a little bit more, but Buffalo looks sloppy. They get the win. I mean, there's not really anyone who stood out to me in the sense of up, up, down, or sideways. If you want to give a player, you can. But for me, there wasn't really anyone who just stood out. It was just a game where Buffalo said, it's not going to matter to us that much. Let's just get the win and get out. What it's kind of felt like to me. I don't know if that felt like it felt like that's you, Vince. I mean, me and you were at the game. We had a lit weekend.
Yeah, man. You know, we was yeah, we got to tell people that we went on vacation, guy. Like, yeah, we was out here on vacation. You know, we went and enjoyed Sunday night football. What a spectacle that was to be in Orchard Park. Cause mind you, I was sitting at like the 10-yard line in the back end zone. Um, and just being in that bowl and looking up and seeing, you know, under the lights what Orchard Park is on Sunday night, hey, it's something. So
It
it is an experience.
and I got to experience my first night game last year for the playoff game, and I said it's truly a spectacle to see Highmark Stadium, New Era Field at night. And like you getting to experience it the first time is always so like amazing, and it's just like breathtaking. It's like you see the field and it's like it just looks so much better at night for some reason, and I don't know why.
Yeah, under the lights, man. Under the lights. You know, I just had to sit back and uh appreciate the moment um of being at that game. So I was very excited that I got to enjoy that. Hey man, even though it was a little ugly, but there were a lot of great points, great moments in the game. Um,
Oh yeah.
but like I said, you pointed out the Packers pretty much going back and forth with us all night on the defensive end. Um, Josh, like I said, for the most, I mean, it wasn't even really his best game. But I mean, other than them two bonehead interceptions, he didn't really play bad. Like he
No.
actually had a solid game. It's just it looked ugly because we were heavily like running the ball. So and in our own, like I said, on our own side, we were having successful. It was basically a run fest. So when you look at the box score and you look at Josh's numbers, you're like, okay, well, this is not a typical Josh Allen game because he was averaging 330 going into the game passing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take a like slight dip here after that game, but we expect him to get back to um those high flying numbers that everybody expects.
Yeah. So I think that's enough for the recap of the Packers game. But yesterday was the trade deadline. And there was murmurs about like, oh, the Bills called Alvin Kamara. Ooh, they were in on Christian McCaffrey. Maybe they look at the safety market. And then at 3:53, Adam Schefter tweets out, Naheem Hines has been traded to the Buffalo Bills. I'm like, okay, Naheem Hines is a very interesting player. It was very much a scheme fit. But then I saw what we traded. A 6th-round pick and what we call him Zach Miss. Now, I said this yesterday. I wish nothing but the best for Zach Moss. But to channel my inner New Yorker, I'll fucking walk you to Indy. Come on, Zach. I'll fucking walk you there. Because you did nothing. You were slow. You couldn't catch. You couldn't pass protect. Every time you were on the field, they blitzed 9 because they knew it was a pass. It was a run. Every time. And a 6th-round pick. I know it's a conditional 5th-round pick that if it turn, I forget what he has to do to turn into a 5th, but either way.
Probably get some PT or something. Probably doing something on the field.
I would assume it's
He
something
didn't
like
do
that, like snap percentage or yardage. But then you also had Dean Marlowe traded back to Buffalo for a 7th-round pick. And
the most random trade ever.
it was very random, but also not,
It was random.
because McDermott
But it made
loves
sense.
McDermott loves people who know and knows the scheme. And Dean Marlowe stepped up when I believe it was either Hyde or Poyer who was out 2 years ago. And a lot of Bills fans wanted to actually extend him. They couldn't make the money work, and he actually went to the Lions. So you trade a 7th round pick for a safety who more than likely will be just safety depth. But in a sense, you needed that because that was one thing you really needed. I was saying you go kind of full on win mode and try to do what the Eagles did with Robert Quinn and trade for Eddie Jackson, take the last 2 years off of his deal, make him a free agent at the end of the season, and like free up that free safety spot. Not that DeMar Hamlin hasn't been playing well, but it's a chance to upgrade the position, especially with Micah Hyde being out for the rest of the season. But I'm not opposed to the Bills' moves. It's going to be very interesting to see how Ken Dorsey brings Naheem Hines into the offense. He's an explosive piece to this offense. What were you going to say, Vince?
Weapon X.
That's Weapon X. All right, so let's get into the battle for the division here. We have the Buffalo Bills going all the way down to a whole different state, going to New Jersey to play the New Jersey Jets.
Oh, brother.
I mean, you can say, "Oh, brother," you want, but it's a geological fact. It's they play New Jersey. We have to literally leave the state to go play y'all. But that's not here or there. Now, Jay, we usually do our bold takes and bold predictions at the end of the show, but I want to bring up something because me and Vince have been talking about this for a couple of days now. You confidently said that the number 4 overall pick in this past draft, Sauce Gardner, is going to hold Stephon Diggs under 65 receiving yards. Is that correct?
I'm not gonna lie. This shit keep breaking up. What'd you say?
I said, me and Vince have been talking about this. You said with full confidence that Sauce Gardner will hold Stephon Diggs to under 65 receiving yards for the game. Is that correct? Jay, did we lose you?
Yep. You keep losing me.
Did you say Sauce Gardner will hold Diggs under 65 yards?
I did.
Do you want to explain your reasoning behind this take?
I believe that the Jets have one of the best cornerback duos in the league, and DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. What we have seen from Sauce is something we haven't seen from a rookie since ever. I believe he has the potential to be a top 3 corner by the end of the season. I like Diggs a lot. I think he's a top 3 receiver himself. I think he's probably the best route runner in the league right now, but I just think Sauce has the ability to read him, if that makes sense.
I like the confidence.
I think it's going to be a tough battle. I think they're going to go at it. I think sometimes Diggs will get the best of Sauce. I think Sauce will more than likely get the best of Diggs.
So how would you react if on the first play Josh Allen says, I'm going to test this rookie. Diggs cooks him 75-yard tutty.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it will be a tutty. Unless there will be some type of tripping involved or something. I don't think there's going to be a touchdown on that play. But I would not be surprised that first play they try and test Sauce Gardner.
Okay. Now, we talked about this
Diggs
earlier.
might more than likely want that.
Now, we talked about this in the group chat earlier today, and I wanted your honest answer. This is your time to explain it. If you had to make the decision right now, is Zach Wilson the guy for the New York Jets?
Say again.
Is Zach Wilson the guy?
I said this. I said this in the group chat that this is such a complex yes or no answer. I think Zach has the potential. I think we've all seen the potential that he can be the franchise guy. Um, but I feel like there are, like we saw with this Patriots game, there are so many mistakes that we saw that should have been left in year one. Like we could all like, sure, like Joe Douglas said in his in the interview today, we're 4-1 with Zach, which is true. But if you truly look at it, most of those wins came off the back of Brees Hall and Michael Carter. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't. There have been good plays. We can all admit that there have been some amazing throws that he made, like I believe the 64-yard pass to Garrett Wilson this recent Sunday.
Yep. While we get Jay's connection back, I've seen moments where Zach Wilson looks like a good quarterback, and then I've seen moments where Zach Wilson looks like it makes you question how the hell was he a number 2 overall pick. My general analysis of the Jets, and this is going to sound harsh, but it's the truth for me. The Jets are not a good team, but the Jets are also not a bad team. They are above average and they are overachieving. But I truly think this team goes as far as the defense. And I think the offense was very heavily reliant on Brees Hall. And you saw the fact that once Brees Hall went down, the offense struggled. Zach Wilson with 3 picks. I think if this team has to rely on Zach Wilson to win them games, they're going to lose a lot more than win.
As of right now, that is not a false thing to say.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it would sound harsh because I'm saying like they're not. Their record is saying they're 5-3, but I'm saying they're not good. But they're also not a bad team. They're not like a bottom feeding team. Like if they matched up with most of the teams in the NFL, they could have a very good game. They beat the Packers. They beat the Broncos. Now, granted, it was without Russell Wilson. I don't really think Russell Wilson makes a difference in that game. So you look at the teams that you did beat. You guys did beat Miami. We could not. They didn't have Tua. We didn't have half our defense. But so it's very interesting to watch the Jets, and I think this is going to be a really true test to both sides of the ball for the Jets. Not only the defense going up against what many people consider the best offense in the NFL, if not one of the best offenses in the NFL. And then you have your offense that has struggled without Brees Hall going up against, once again, one of the best defenses in the NFL. This is going to be a true test for Robert Saleh and the Jets. And he can say we're keeping those receipts, but receipts are only good for returns. So at some point you have to show this is a true test for the Jets. You have to step up. Even if you don't beat Buffalo, you have to make it look like this game was closer than it was, or if it's a blowout, then it just shows that the Jets aren't ready, which I think we all know, but also the fact that they're really not as good as we thought they were. Vince, Jay, comments?
I mean, hey, everything you said, I can't necessarily disagree. I do think they are above average team.
Yeah.
They made it work. But like you said, you kind of see what the offense looked like without Brees Hall. And Brees Hall was pretty much carrying and letting them putting them in and setting them up in a position to win. Not saying that James Robinson can't be that filling guy. but it's on we. You gotta let that develop. So you see how that goes from there. But if it is put on Zach Wilson to win them games right now, it's not looking too bad. Because I did watch Sunday's game, and in the first half, he was looking solid. He was doing what he was doing. I seen the little bomb he threw to Garrett Wilson. I was like, okay, that's a solid throw. Not many people making that. You know what I'm saying? It's very solid. But then in the second half, you know, once the Patriots started creeping a little bit, the pressure started getting to him. He started doing dumb stuff again, just chucking the ball up rather than throwing it away. Same thing what Josh Allen used to do, you know,
Hmm.
during his first and second years. Matter of fact, he just did it this past Sunday,
Yeah.
not throwing the ball away and just giving it away. So
So, Jay, what do you think of the analysis that I did about the Jets? Do you agree, disagree, too harsh?
I don't think it was too harsh. I will disagree that they aren't like a mid team. I would say they are a good team. I think both the defense and the offense are well designed to win games, but the only it's not the offense that's holding us back entirely. It is solely just Zach Wilson.
But in that sense, if you're agreeing in the sense that Zach Wilson's holding you back, and Zach Wilson is the quarterback for at least the rest of this season, because we don't know if Joe Douglas is going to try to pull something crazy, like try to sign Lamar Jackson. Not saying they will, or trying to make that splash at quarterback. But if you're saying that Zach Wilson is holding them back, wouldn't that be considering the offense is not that good if they're being held back from their true potential?
Not exactly, because we've seen what this offense can do under Zach Wilson when he made those fantastic plays, as well as Joe Flacco in those games where he was in for Zach Wilson's injuries. We've seen Joe Flacco go for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns in a comeback win against the Browns. We've seen him do a pretty okay job against the Bengals, and we saw him, have a late touchdown against the Ravens. The
Yeah.
passing attack can be impressive. Corey Davis is a
Jay, I think you cut out there. Corey Davis isn't a what? I think he was going to say Corey Davis is not a bad option at receiver. My analysis of Corey Davis has always been he's been a very solid number two, but you can't be a number two being paid number one money. And I think that's the problem with Corey Davis. Garrett Wilson, who I think can truly be that number one, but you also have the internal issues with Elijah Moore. He requested a trade because he's not being utilized, and then the trade deadline comes, he wasn't traded, but if you go back to this past Sunday's game, he had no targets. Or he had one target or 0 targets, but I know he didn't have a catch.
he had
So,
a target, but it got deflected.
so now I know we talked about this in the
and
group
then when he
chat.
got asked about it, he kept it honest.
Yeah.
He did, and it's true. I believe I said this in the group chat before. I don't think that Matt LaFleur is using him in the offense correctly. I said this at the time where he got drafted that he is going to.
Uh, what were you saying about Jay? Because you were saying it during the draft that he is going to be.
Hello.
No, we got you. All right, we're good.
All right, but I said it at the beginning since he got drafted that he was going to be an amazing slot guy and that Jameson Crowder is on the way out. And look at what happened. But instead, we're using him for go routes that should be used for like the likes of Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis, hell, even Denzel Mims. We see what he can do when he's on the field. He's a great run blocker, and you know, he can get some yards out there.
Yeah, I mean, Elijah Moore, when he was in the draft, I remember a lot of Bills fans saying the same thing that you just said. They're like, oh, we should get Elijah Moore. Cole Beasley's going to be on the way out at the end of the season anyway. Store him up, and then we have that slot receiver position filled for the next 6-7 years, whatever it would be. And I was not opposed to the idea, but wide receiver was just generally not in need for Buffalo. But then when the Jets traded up to get him in the second round, I'm like, that's a great pick by them. I love that pick by the Jets. And I hated the fact that Joe Douglas is a competent GM because, the Jets have been that laughing stock, that punching bag of the NFL for years. So to actually have competent moves from them is just surprising after their history. But, I mean, for the Jets' sake, I really hope they can figure out this Elijah Moore situation, because if he's already upset with the lack of targets and you're refusing to trade him because you see him a part of your offense, but then you continue to not utilize him in said offense, it's very weird to watch. It's almost like a reality show. Like, you can't look away but it's such a bad situation, but it's such great television you can't stop looking. And that's how I feel like this is for the Jets. I mean, he's a very talented receiver. He can bring explosiveness to the offense, but he's not being utilized. So that's my takeaway from it. Let's go a little further into this preview of the Bills and the Jets. The Bills coming off a win against the Packers on Sunday Night Football. The Jets coming off a loss against the New England Patriots. If I'm knowing this correctly, I believe the spread for this game is Buffalo is favored by. Am I seeing this correctly? It is minus 12.5 for Buffalo. So minus 12.5. Vince, Jay, do you guys think Buffalo covers this spread?
Oh, man. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Jesus Christ. What were you saying?
I said the current spread for the Bills-Jets game is minus 12.5 Buffalo. Do you think Buffalo can cover that spread?
Honestly, I'm gonna say no. I think I think I think I think the Jets will be able to help to continue Josh Allen. I think the thing I have to really worry about from this game is Josh Allen. Josh Allen's ability to escape the pocket and extend plays. I think if we can contain that, I think we could hold them to a low amount of points and try and be competitive in this game.
It's funny that you say that. The amount of times that I hear that people say, "Hey, let's 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 keep him in the pocket, guys. Let's just keep him there." Y'all do realize he want to stay in the pocket. He don't want to run. He don't want to run like that much no more.
No.
He is willing to sit back there and just torch people. So, you know, if there's not pressure in his face, I mean, he's just gonna sit back there and just carve you guys up. So it's funny
I'm
that
just
people
saying.
want it that way.
I'm just saying
Uh,
that we are first. We are first in pass rushing. We are first in QB hits. I'm just saying.
what
But
that
you
mean?
also realize that Josh.
what that mean? Because Josh Allen barely been touched this year, so
But I'm just saying, first in QB hits. That's a lot.
that's cool. That's
But
cool.
you also have to realize one thing.
How many
If,
opportunities y'all gonna have to hit Josh Allen? That's the funny thing.
oh,
We'll just have to see.
I was gonna say simply the fact that you want to talk about that you're first in QB hits and you're the best pass rush defense. You want to try to blitz Josh, go right ahead. That's your funeral. You blitz Josh, you're asking to get your ass whooped. That's basically what you're asking.
I mean, they're just gonna have to show me. This is a new Jets team. You know,
See, I can agree that it is a news Jets team.
Man, Jets
You
fans
know,
got 5 wins and they just posting with confidence.
but
I know
Vince,
y'all not used to winning, but gosh,
Vince, at some point, when after a decade of hearing this is a new Jets team, are we really gonna see a new Jets team? Yeah, they have new
you're
jerseys,
looking
they
at them
have
right
new
now.
shiny players. When is it actually going to be a new Jets team? Because I've heard
whenever
that.
they find their way to the playoffs, whenever that happens, it may happen. Nah, it's not. I mean, that was gonna be nice to say it might happen.
Damn, already saying not gonna make the playoffs, huh?
Nah,
I think we got a wild card spot.
You think you think three teams in the AFC East make the playoffs?
I think we beat out the Dolphins.
You think you beat out the Dolphins? You do realize the Dolphins just acquired an elite pass rusher, right?
I mean,
and elite pass rushers to where the Super Bowl did.
Yeah, RG3 looked real stupid with that tweet. Miami's Super Bowl odds just skyrocketed. Caesar Sportsbook. Nope, still the same. It's
I'm
still the
not.
same. Still plus 3,000.
I'm not worried.
So, okay, Jay. Now I also heard something very, very interesting. We're gonna contain Josh Allen. What the hell are the Jets going to do that every other team in the NFL has not been able to do? Like how do the Jets plan on stopping Josh Allen? Because that is a great question that I would love the answer for.
I mean, if they watched last week, that's the only shot they got. If you watch Sunday Night Football, they practically gave you the game plan.
What's the
Is
game
just sit
plan?
there and attempt to run the ball.
Yeah. That's literally the only way you can stop Josh Allen is if he doesn't have the ball in his
It's literally eat clock.
hands. I mean,
What y'all gonna do? Chew the whole game, bro? I mean, y'all might as well. I mean, I guess y'all probably
y'all
have
probably will.
Cheat.
just chew the whole clock.
Chew. Not cheat. Chew.
Cheat. I mean, maybe we will. Who knows? I think
It's a sad way to go out, man. Sad way to go out.
So right now, looking at the stats between the teams. The hell no. Bad. Stupid ESPN. The Jets are scoring 22 points per game. They are allowing 19.9.
Mhm.
So
That's great for them.
that is great for them. But a 2.1 point differential in your win-loss manner per game is not great. Because that means any game you play will be decided by a field goal. More than likely. And that's a problem because when you get in further to the season, if your point differential is only 2.1 difference, I'm not comfortable with that. Now, when you look at Buffalo, and I'm not going to say, oh, these two teams are better than what, but Buffalo is averaging 29 points per game while allowing 14. So Buffalo is winning comfortably in these games that they win. And even the like you want to look at point differential, I believe Buffalo's was what? Doesn't Buffalo have like a plus 70 point differential or something like that? So like
That's it. I think it's going to be a tough, greedy defensive game.
I can see it being a tough defensive gritty game, but I can also see this game getting ugly quick if your defense has to stay on the field a long time, because your offensive line situation has not been great. You have Elijah Vera Tucker out. You have your tackles out. I know Dwayne Brown just came back, but Mekhi Becton's been out. It's not a great situation, and Buffalo's defensive line is one of the better rotational units in the league. They have so much depth that they can just constantly throw something at you. Not to mention they do have a future Hall of Famer in Von Miller and a rising star in Gregory Rousseau. I think Zach Wilson is going to get pressured. I think he's going to force himself into many mistakes. And I think if that is the case, this game could get ugly very fast because your defense is just tired from being on the field the whole time. Vince, do you agree with that statement, or no, not really?
My fault. That's my no. You said something about Zach being.
I was saying I agreed with Jay that this has on paper the writing to be a great gritty defensive game, but I think the major key to that being is Zach Wilson has to help his defense out, because if he gets pressured by the Bills' defensive line that rotates a lot, the Jets are down a lot of offensive linemen. If he gets pressured and he makes mistakes, I think this game could get ugly very quickly because of the defense being on the field so much.
You know, it's funny we talking about Zach Wilson because I don't think Zach. Matter of fact, Jay, you remember what happened last time Zach was on the field against us?
Last time he was on the field against y'all, he did pretty good.
Yeah, he got really comfortable with the ground.
What do you mean?
He was sacked like 9 times, whatever it was. The last time Zach Wilson played,
it's so sad that you don't remember that game. That's bad. You don't remember that? He came to Buffalo and got wrecked.
No, he played a pretty good game.
No, he
I mean,
did not,
it wasn't like
No,
the
he did
best
not.
game, but
Jay,
it was an
y'all had a
okay
net
game.
total of 50 yards. Y'all had a net total of 50 yards that game. Y'all crossed the midfield, I think, once.
Damn.
I remember that game like it was yesterday because it was so funny that y'all could not move the ball 1 bit.
Oh.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Nah, because I'm really about to
They
look
tried to
this
hand
up.
to Michael Carter. That didn't work either. Yeah. Michael Carter tried to get some runs. He wasn't going nowhere.
All I know is that the Bills sacked Zach Wilson like a lot. He was on the ground a lot.
Matter of fact, I think he had 4 picks that game too.
He might have.
So I
So
know he had at least 2.
I mean,
but that's another story for another day. Yeah, Zach is Zach is in trouble. He's just call help now.
Just call help now.
Hey, matter of fact, while we at it, 5-0 finna go ahead and add to his sack total. Because Man, that line is looking pretty sweet up there, man. Gonna be sweet in them trenches.
I mean, to be fair, Vince, your parlay did have Von Miller getting 2 sacks against the Packers, and
Hey, look, we don't talk about that, okay? First off, what Sir Frazier fucked up is he kept lining him across Bakhtiari, damn it. And he was getting chipped every now and then. You get double teamed. I was
so
hoping
okay, Vince,
he would
I'm
get
gonna play devil's
through there
advocate here.
somehow.
You can't call out Jair Alexander for never guarding Diggs. You can't call out David Bakhtiari for always lining up against Von Miller. You can't.
Hey.
Bakhtiari
Look,
won the battle.
flip him. He should have moved him on the other side. Should have had Groot, go up.
Because Von Miller is a competitor. He wants the challenge. He doesn't want to run away. He wants to go up against another future Hall of Fame talent. And I respect that.
Anyway, he was getting double teamed anyway, so we all know how that goes. No one can really handle Von Miller one-on-one.
Okay.
It's okay. He's gonna make up for it on Sunday, so we're not worried. He's gonna make up for it.
All right, Vince, I need to ask you this question, and then I'll ask the same question to Jay. How many sacks does Von Miller get?
2.5.
2.5 sacks for Von Miller.
The half sack he's gonna share with Drew is gonna be funny.
Of course it is. Of course it's Kurt he shares it with. Because why wouldn't it be? Jay,
It might be with Ed. I don't know.
Ed did get his first sack of the season on Sunday.
We forgot to talk about the interior pressure, man. Can we talk about that? Like,
We
the
can.
interior is back in full force, baby.
Yeah.
We're out there just bitching people, man. Yeah.
All right, Jay. How many sacks does Von Miller get on Sunday?
I'll give him 1.5.
1.5. Okay.
I mean, that's pretty generous, man.
Generous is 1.5.
At least in his thing.
Okay. I'm going to ask this question to both of you. I'm going to answer this question for Buffalo side as well as Vince is going to answer this question for Buffalo side. Who is the player that nobody is talking about for the Buffalo Bills, and Jay, you will answer for the New York Jets, that nobody's talking about but will be after this game?
I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna go Taryn.
Taryn.
I'm gonna go Taryn. I think Taryn gonna have a very solid game on Sunday.
I'm going to say
I
DeMar.
also feel like Taryn coming up with a pick. I think
I'm going to
Taryn
say
coming up with one.
I'm going to say DeMar Hamlin. I think DeMar Hamlin has his best game as a starting safety in the NFL on Sunday. I don't know if he's just going to have a pass breakup or an interception or a huge or a good amount of tackles. I just think he's going to have his most. I think I think DeMar Hamlin's going to have a pretty good game. He's going to be someone that people are starting to talk about after this week. Now, Jay, who is somebody on the Jets that nobody's really talking about or acknowledging how well they've played, but after Sunday they will have no choice but to acknowledge them as a good player, and they're playing well?
I honestly have 2 players. I have 2 players. One of them is DJ Reed.
Okay. Like I said, I knew you were going to go that route.
Very underrated corner.
Very underrated. I honestly think he's playing like a top 5 corner right now. He has one of the lowest completion ratings against him.
Okay, so you're going off the sense of DJ Reed, people will start talking about because of the fact that he's going to finally start getting some recognition.
Yes, I believe that is gonna happen. I think there are gonna be a few plays where they try and test him with Diggs and nothing happens. I think he might get an interception, maybe, who knows? But the other player I want to talk about is Bryce Huff. If I'm not mistaken, he had one of the highest win rates.
Really?
I'm assuming. I'm assuming he playing on the D line. I'm
Yes.
assuming.
Yes, I believe he's an interior defensive lineman for them. Which
Hello.
I mean, if that's the case, that's that I can see it. Those are two players nobody is really talking about for the Jets. I mean, DJ Reed, I love that signing for the Jets when it came to it. He was a very underrated corner in Seattle. He got to go to a bigger market and show his talent. Yeah, I can agree with those picks. All right, guys, let's get into our score predictions for this game, and then we will get into our bold predictions, over, under, buy, sell, whatever you want to call them, and we can figure out everything else from there. Jay, since you are our guest, we will give you the first choice. What is your score prediction for this game?
Like I said, I see a very low scoring game. I see a very defensive game. I think both teams throw for a couple touchdowns.
Okay. So both teams score a couple of touchdowns. What is your final score prediction and who wins the game? Oh, did we lose Jay? Um. All right, Vince. While we're waiting for Jay to get back, what is your score prediction?
I'm gonna say, give me 30, 34, 34-10.
34-10.
Ooh,
I hate to say it.
uh,
34-10.
I was thinking something very similar.
that's a little crazy.
This bastard's in AEW now too?
Did y'all hear my score prediction?
We did not.
Nah,
Uh,
it cut out.
I had 2014 Bills.
2014. So you think the Bills win another one-score game? Okay. I'm going to say the Bills win 30. I'm going to agree with Vince. I think 34. I think 34 is the magic number for the Bills. I think the Jets score 17. I think it's 34-17 for the Buffalo Bills over the New York Jets.
Alt prediction 34-13.
34-13. Okay. Okay.
Being nice.
Bold prediction time.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one. I mean, if you have two, you can say two if you want. If you have extra.
No. When I said everybody gets one, I was saying as in the teams that we play, like their opposing offenses, they only get one. So
Oh.
Wow.
yeah, you have to give them a touchdown. Just 2-1.
Okay. Whoever wants to give their bold prediction first, or if you have multiple, you can give all your bold predictions. Who wants to give your bold prediction first?
Why don't you give yours first?
Mine?
Yeah.
Naheem Hines will have 75 receiving yards. in his first game as a Bill.
That's your only one?
I mean, I could also say something outlandish where Zach Wilson throws Kyer Elam his first pick six.
You know that actually has like literally a great possibility of happening. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, screw it. We'll throw it out there. Kyer Elam gets his first career pick six.
And we're gonna start playing in the trumpets.
Okay. Jay, Vince, your bold prediction / bold predictions.
I have three.
You have three?
I have three. As
Okay.
you know, my first one, I believe whenever Sauce is guarding Diggs, he will hold him to under
65 yards on Diggs being held under 65 yards. That's crazy. That's bold. It's bold. It's a little saucy. A little
It's more
saucy.
zesty than saucy.
You know. Sure.
whatever. My second one, is I think Zach Wilson has a good game. I think he throws 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. And my last one is I think Sauce gets himself another interception on the board to add to it.
So Sauce intercepts Josh. Sauce holds Diggs under 65 yards. And Zach Wilson has a game of 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's bold. That's bold because a lot of those probably won't happen.
I think they all will. I think they all will.
I just think Zach Wilson has too much of a playmaker tendency where he has to think, I always have to make the play. And that's what costs him. And I think he's going to have a few incidents like that where he throws an interception.
Oh, I agree, but I think he cleans it up. I think he truly cleans it up this game,
Okay.
especially knowing that he's going against one of the better defenses in the NFL again.
I just find it hard to believe that he's going to step up like this against one of the better defenses when he had 3 picks against the Patriots defense. So we'll see. All right, Vince, what is your bold prediction / bold predictions?
First one. If he is indeed playing on Sunday,
And who might this be?
in his return, in his
Oh.
debut, he would take one to the crib.
Oh, we doing this
And
again?
if one and if everybody's wondering who I'm talking about, he's been belovedly missed on the field. He
Huh.
just got activated yesterday.
Off the
He's back on
PUP.
the 53. He's back on the 53-man roster and looks like
Jameson
he's ready to
Crowder.
go.
Jameson
No,
Crowder will have
no,
his
no,
revenge game,
no,
right? No?
no. He just broke his ankle. He broke his ankle, bro. What? You want to come
I
on, James
don't
Crowder?
know. I'm trying to think of who it could be.
Good night. But we all know, man. This Mr. 2-7, Tre'Davious White. Trey White Goalie Academy, the best goalie out there to ever play the game of hockey.
Yeah.
If indeed Tre'Davious White is playing Sunday, he will get a outlandish interception to kick off his 2022 campaign.
I will say this before you continue. I love Tre'Davious. I want to see him back as soon as possible. I would wait a week. I don't want his first game to be on the shitty MetLife
Yeah,
field.
I would too, but yeah.
I do not want him to go onto that field and then just slip or get banged up and it just no. If he can play, very limited snaps. If you don't feel comfortable, do not put him on that field. That field has caused way too many injuries in the past couple of years. Do not put him on that field if you do not need to. Continue.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. But like I said, if he's indeed playing Sunday, I think he gets one. To replace that, Tufo gonna get him one because he gonna get tested, and a lot of people really don't test out here. Um, but Zach Wilson being the guy that he is, he likes to take those challenges and likes to take those risks, and sometimes they work. But Sunday, I
I
don't.
don't
So
Sunday.
yeah, two four gonna get him one, and I think you know what, this is gonna be wild, it's gonna be crazy. Singletary gets his first 100-yard game of the year.
Oh my.
Wow,
Singletary gets his first 100-yard game of the year.
that's really bold.
So
Now
so
he's
so
he's
to,
he's he, you know
so to recap, if Tre'Davious White plays, he gets a pick. Kyer Elam gets a pick. Devin Singletary gets 100 rushing yards. Naheem Hines has 75 receiving yards. Diggs does not catch 65 yards on Sauce. Sauce intercepts Josh Allen. Zach Wilson has 2 touchdowns, no picks.
Hmm.
Some are very bold. The Zach Wilson no picks is bold as hell. That's bold. The Sauce holding Diggs on 65 yards is bold.
I mean, I could have went the easy route and I could have said Group gets 2 sacks, but I'm just
Okay. Final question before we end the show. How many sacks does the Buffalo Bills defense get on Sunday?
6.
6. Okay. Jay, how many sacks do you
Because
do?
unlike the Packers, they're not going to be afraid to throw the ball.
True. Jay, how many sacks does your team let up on Sunday?
I'll give us. I'll give us 3.
3 sacks. Okay. I'm gonna say we get a cool 4 or 5. I think at the first play of the game, y'all try to do some play action, and Vaughn just jump on Zach Wilson back, like Zach Wilson jumps on Milfs. I think it's gonna be a long ass day for Zach Wilson. But Giselle's newy single. Zach Wilson probably already slid in her DMs. We'll probably see Giselle at the Jet game on Sunday. She'll probably sit in front row in a number 2 jersey.
Imagine.
I mean, why not? Jay, how does it feel to have a home wrecker as a quarterback? The man's sleeping with MILFs.
Hey man.
The man's a home wrecker.
Hey man, leave him alone.
I mean,
So what? So what if he into older women? You gonna shame him now?
there's nothing wrong with being interested in
I
older
love
women.
those women.
The problem
I
is,
fuck with that.
the problem is, it was his mom's friend that he slept with. Like he'd
That's
go over
well,
to her house, have some cookies, and then after cookies, had some pussy. I'm just saying.
I mean, everybody mom had a hot friend. Like,
I mean, but Zach Wilson bringing a whole new meaning to cookies and cream. Just saying.
Hey yo, whoa, wait, hey, going on, gang? This how we ending the show now.
I guess it is. I guess it is.
We're a wild comment, man.
It made Jay laugh, so I don't give a damn.
yeah, this your homie Vince?
It was
This your
funny.
homie?
I mean, it was funny. Hey, bro. Sometimes he get a little outlandish. Sometimes he get a little,
Hey,
a
bro,
little
that's
outlandish, a little crazy.
that's your homie.
He is
But
over
I
there
don't
drinking a
know.
seltzer right now, so
I don't
he's
know.
already committing a crime. So
I'm already what?
you're committing a crime by drinking seltzer. My hard seltzer is that.
Okay. Any closing remarks before we end the show, guys? No? No,
What happened?
I said, any closing remarks before we end the show?
Sauce is gonna get clamp up Stephon Diggs.
Things that will never
No
happen for
secondary
$1,000, Alex.
no secondary has seemed to figure out how to cover him. So I just
The only way to cover him is you
he,
hold him.
he just continues to be him every week he goes out here. So.
I'm just saying, Stephon Diggs has said he's him. He not gonna like Sauce holding him. So it's not gonna go well. Sauce gonna try to hold him,
bro. All that tugging he gonna be doing, bro. Like, man, I would hate to be Sauce, bro. I really would.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. Vince, any closing remarks?
Diggs is him. Gabe is him. Josh Allen is him. The whole defense is them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, there's a great song by the Migos, and everyone knows how it starts off. I'm not gonna say the word, but y'all in trouble. This is the number one defense, adding a top 3 cornerback. Y'all in trouble. That's my closing remark. Cry.
Diggs is gonna get lost in the sauce, bro. So
Lost in the sauce. It seems like the Jets fans are drunk off the sauce.
He's gonna get lost in the sauce, bro. It's all good. It's all. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it, dog.
All I'm gonna say is
it's just crazy because it's gonna have 3 nuclear wars happen over there.
Now, Jay, I'm just gonna before we end the show.
Everywhere.
My closing remark is gonna be how much better Buffalo is than the Jets. Does Zach Wilson have his own cereal? No. Does Sauce have his own sauce that actually donates to charity? No. We better than you. That's all I gotta say. Go buy a box of Josh Jacks. It helps the kids.
Man, fuck that cereal.
Yeah. Hey, that's some good cereal right there. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
That shit. This shit.
That's ass.
It's some great cereal.
I'm sorry, it's not Wilson O's.
Just because I'm looking at it, it makes me want to go, eat my box. But,
bro, I'm having my box for dinner. The fuck you mean? This is dinner. This is dinner.
Go to the cereal right there.
Go buy a box of Josh Jacks.
No.
Well, fuck you too.
Sounds like a hater to me. He's mad at his quarterback on that. He's on cereal.
His quarterback don't have a cereal. His corner steps has a partnership with Buffalo Wild Wings. Fucking Buffalo Wild Wings. Okay. We have sauce that actually donate to charity. Diggs has an elite receiver hot sauce. Josh Allen has mild barbecue and hot sauce. And he got the seasoning and the rubs. We better. We do it better. And we donate to charity. Most proceeds go to Oshai's Children's Hospital. All proceeds of Sauce's sauce go to Sauce. That's some bullshit. That's what I'm saying.
As the GOAT quarterback covers over.
Be a Josh Allen. Have your own cereal. Don't be a Zach Wilson. Don't fuck MILFs. That's my closing remark.
Who doesn't want to fuck MILF, bro?
Okay. The last one was a little too much. The last one was a little too much. I can't go as far as you on that one. But everything else was fine.
Look at the joy. He has his own cereal. He is a respectful man. He has a dog named Sky.
Your own co-host. Your own co-host folded on you. Yeah.
Be a Josh. Don't be a
I agree with everything you said until you said that last one.
Don't fuck MILFs?
Because they are the reason why some of us are on this earth. Okay? Right? They were actually put on this earth for that.
This took a turn.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to end here. We over here.
I mean, it all started until you said that remark.
I said, be a Josh Allen. Have your own cereal. Don't fuck MILFs. That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to end the show on that.
Yeah, that last remark is just outlandish. You just can't be saying that.
Why?
Because
you know why.
they run the world.
Why? No, I don't.
You know why?
They run the
Why?
world,
Because my
bro.
quarterback a respectful human being. That's what
Hey,
I'm
bro,
saying.
committed relationships are cool, but look, come on, bro. Like,
Just saying.
the milk we talking about, bro. It's got its name for a reason. Like, come on now.
I would love for this whole Zach Wilson story to be untrue, and like they interview all Zach Wilson's friends' mom. Like, no, I never slept with Zachary. That's so silly.
Hey, yeah.
Anyway, we got off topic. We were supposed to end the show about like 6 minutes ago. Then we started talking about MILFs and Zach Wilson and Josh Allen cereal and a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, these things happen.
But anyway, everybody, this is going to be the end of the show. We will be back next week when the Bills play the Vikings. We will see if we can get a guest. I have somebody in mind, but, you know, life comes at you, so you never know. But that's going to be the end of the show. And as always, go Bills.
Go Bills.